Life is full of distractions, desires, and countless demands on our attention. It is easy to become lost in the chaos, to be tossed about by the storms of life without any sense of direction. Yet, there exists a rare type of woman, one who embodies timeless virtues that allow her to stand firm and navigate life's uncertainties with a calm, unshakable presence. She is the living embodiment of Stoicism, a philosophy that offers profound wisdom on how to live well in a turbulent world. This video aims to explore the 8 virtues that define the rarest woman in the world. These virtues are not only qualities to admire, but practical tools for living a life of meaning, resilience, and inner peace. As we dive deep into each virtue, I challenge you to reflect on your own life and consider how these timeless principles can guide you towards becoming a better, stronger, and more fulfilled version of yourself. But why should you stay until the end? Because within these words lie keys that can unlock a strength and serenity within you that you may not even know exists. By the end, you will not only understand these virtues, but have the tools to begin incorporating them into your own life. The path of Stoicism is not for the faint-hearted, but if you are ready for the challenge, this journey will be transformative. Let us embark together on this exploration of the rarest virtues, starting with the first: adaptability. 1. Adaptability, the art of flowing with life's changes. Adaptability is often misunderstood as mere flexibility or compromise, but it is much deeper. It is the ability to flow with life's changes, like water that molds itself to the shape of its container, yet remains true to its essence. The rarest woman possesses an innate understanding that change is the only constant, and it is not resistance, but acceptance that allows her to navigate life's unpredictability. Ask yourself, when life suddenly shifts course, do you find yourself resisting, clinging to what was? Or do you embrace the new, seeing in it an opportunity to grow? How often do we fight against circumstances, wasting energy trying to control the uncontrollable? In a world filled with change, adaptability becomes a vital tool for survival, not through mere acceptance, but through the conscious choice to respond rather than react. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that while we cannot control external events, we can control our responses to them. For the rarest woman, this principle is not just a belief, but a way of life. She sees the world as it is, not as she wishes it to be, and adjusts her sails to catch the prevailing winds rather than curse the storm. This mindset does not imply passivity. Rather, it reflects a proactive willingness to seek new paths, to mold oneself according to the demands of the moment without losing one's sense of purpose. Reflect on this. When faced with an unexpected challenge, how can you use it as an opportunity to practice adaptability? Can you see change not as a threat, but as a teacher? Each twist and turn of life offers a lesson, if only we are open to learning. The rarest woman finds strength not in rigidity, but in her ability to bend without breaking, to pivot without losing direction. The true power of adaptability lies in its quiet resilience. It is not loud or forceful, but gentle and persistent. The rarest woman moves through life with the grace of a river, which carves its own path through solid rock, not through force, but through persistence. This adaptability is not about conforming to others' expectations or abandoning one's values, but about maintaining an unwavering commitment to one's principles while adjusting one's methods as circumstances evolve. Have you ever felt weighed down by your own expectations? The Stoics remind us that it is not external events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. By practicing adaptability, we learn to release those judgments, allowing ourselves to respond to each situation with a fresh perspective. The rarest woman does not cling to past successes or failures. She remains open to the present, ready to act as the moment requires. As we move to the next virtue, Consider how adaptability prepares us to face even the harshest storms. This ability to flow with life's changes is but one aspect of the rarest woman's strength. The next virtue dives deeper into how she withstands adversity with an unyielding spirit. 2. Strength in the face of adversity. Facing life's storms with resolve. Adversity is not something to be avoided, for it is in hardship that true character is forged. The rarest woman understands that life is a series of challenges, and it is not the avoidance of pain, but the acceptance and transcendence of it that leads to growth. Her strength does not manifest as an absence of suffering, but as a willingness to embrace struggle as a necessary part of the human experience. Consider this. How often do we run from discomfort, seeking the path of least resistance? Yet every time we shy away from challenge, we deny ourselves the opportunity to grow. The Stoic approach to adversity is not to deny the pain, but to see it as a test, an opportunity to practice courage, patience, and resilience. The rarest woman does not merely survive adversity, she thrives in it. She views each obstacle not as a setback, but as a stepping stone. Her ability to confront difficulties with a calm mind and a steady heart is what sets her apart. While others may be overwhelmed by fear or despair, she remains resolute, understanding that it is through struggle that she is refined, much like a blade is sharpened by friction. What is your first reaction to hardship? Do you seek to escape, or do you confront it head-on? The rarest woman has learned to welcome adversity as a friend, for it is in the depths of difficulty that her inner strength is truly tested and revealed. She draws upon Stoicism's teachings, which emphasize that while we may not control the events that occur, we can control how we respond to them. It is this control over one's own mind that grants her the ability to face life's storms with equanimity. This virtue is not about denying one's feelings, rather, it is about mastering them. The rarest woman understands that emotions are natural responses to external events, but they need not dictate one's actions. She experiences fear, anger, and sadness like anyone else, yet she does not let these emotions control her decisions. Instead, she acknowledges them, learns from them, and allows reason to guide her responses. Pause and reflect. When you face a challenge, do you see it as an opportunity to strengthen your character? How can you practice viewing adversity as a teacher rather than an enemy? The Stoics teach us to embrace hardship as a necessary part of life, for it is in adversity that our true nature is revealed. As we transition to the next virtue, keep in mind that strength in the face of adversity is not about being unfeeling, but about using life's trials to cultivate an indomitable spirit. This inner strength is often shrouded in an enigmatic quality that draws others to the rarest woman. 3. Enigmatic nature, the power of silent depth. The rarest woman possesses a quality that is difficult to define, an aura of mystery that captivates and draws people in. She is not mysterious for the sake of being elusive, but because her depth is not immediately apparent to those with only a superficial glance. Her true essence lies below the surface, and understanding her requires patience and attentiveness. Ask yourself, when you meet someone who seems guarded or reserved, do you assume they are hiding something, or do you consider that there may be more to them than meets the eye? The enigmatic nature of the rarest woman challenges us to look beyond appearances and to recognize that some truths are best discovered gradually. Her mystery is not a game or an attempt to be obscure. It is an invitation to explore deeper layers of understanding. She does not reveal everything about herself immediately, because she recognizes that true connection is built over time. This quality not only protects her inner world, but also fosters meaningful relationships based on genuine understanding rather than surface-level interaction. Why do we feel the need to explain ourselves to everyone? In a world obsessed with sharing every detail, the rarest woman understands the value of privacy and the strength found in silence. She practices Stoicism not by withholding information, but by discerning what is worth sharing and what is best kept as her own. Her depth is a reminder that not all beauty is readily apparent. Some of the most profound truths are hidden, waiting to be discovered by those who are patient enough to seek them. Her enigmatic nature also allows her to remain unperturbed by others' judgments. She does not need to conform to society's expectations or fit into a predefined role, because she is secure in who she is. This inner security, coupled with her ability to remain somewhat aloof, gives her a magnetic quality that inspires curiosity and respect. Consider this. In what areas of your life do you reveal too much too soon? Could you benefit from cultivating a little more mystery, allowing others to approach you rather than always seeking validation? The Stoics encourage us to find contentment within ourselves, and part of this journey involves embracing the unknown, even in our own character. As we move forward, we will see how the rarest woman's enigmatic nature is complemented by a profound self-confidence that stems from a deep understanding of who she truly is. 4. Self-confidence, a quiet assurance rooted in self-knowledge. The rarest woman carries herself with a quiet assurance that does not shout for attention. Her self-confidence is not a product of external validation, but an inner certainty that comes from knowing herself deeply. She understands her strengths and limitations, embracing both with equal grace. This self-awareness allows her to move through life with a calm certainty, unshaken by the opinions of others. Ask yourself, what is the source of your self-confidence? Does it rely on external accomplishments, praise from others, or is it rooted in a profound understanding of your own worth? For the rarest woman, self-confidence is cultivated through continuous self-reflection and an unwavering commitment to living according to her principles. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of knowing oneself. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest advocates, often wrote about the necessity of self-examination and living in accordance with one's true nature. The rarest woman exemplifies this ideal by drawing her confidence not from the fluctuating circumstances of life, but from the steadfast values she holds within. This foundation is unshakable because it is based on what lies within her control, her thoughts, actions, and choices, rather than on the unpredictable world around her. Consider this. When faced with criticism, do you find yourself questioning your worth, or do you stand firm in your understanding of who you are? It is natural to feel the sting of judgment, but the rarest woman uses these moments as opportunities to practice resilience and reaffirm her self-worth. She does not allow the opinions of others to define her, for she knows that her value is not determined by how others perceive her. Her self-confidence does not equate to arrogance. It is not about believing that she is better than others, but about recognizing her unique qualities and embracing them without apology. This humility, combined with self-assurance, gives her a powerful presence that influences those around her without the need for force or persuasion. Her quiet confidence serves as a beacon, inspiring others to look within themselves for the same source of strength. Reflect on this. How often do you allow the opinions of others to shape your sense of self? Imagine how your life might change if your confidence was based not on external factors, but on an unshakable understanding of your own values and abilities. This is the path of Stoicism, the journey towards cultivating a mind that is at peace with itself, regardless of what happens in the world outside. As we transition to the next virtue, remember that self-confidence is not an end in itself, but a foundation upon which other virtues, such as direct communication, can be built. A woman who knows herself speaks with clarity and purpose. 5. Direct communication, speaking truth with clarity and purpose. The rarest woman does not waste words. She speaks with clarity, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to truth. In a world filled with ambiguity and half-truths, her direct communication stands out as a refreshing and necessary trait. This quality is not about bluntness or insensitivity, but about conveying meaning in the most honest and sincere way possible. Ask yourself, when you speak, are your words carefully chosen to convey your true thoughts? Or do you find yourself often saying what you think others want to hear? The Stoics valued truthfulness, not as a mere moral obligation, but as a pathway to clearer thinking and a more virtuous life. For the rarest woman, honesty is not just a choice, but a way of being, rooted in her understanding that truth is the foundation of genuine connection. Her direct communication style reflects her inner clarity. She does not feel the need to hide behind vague expressions or obscure language because she is confident in her message. She respects herself and others enough to speak clearly, even when the truth may be uncomfortable. This straightforward approach to communication is a manifestation of her commitment to living authentically, in accordance with the principles of Stoicism. Reflect on your conversations. How often do you avoid saying what you truly mean for fear of offending others? Could it be that by choosing your words more carefully and speaking more directly, you would foster deeper and more meaningful relationships? The rarest woman understands that, while not everyone will appreciate her candor, those who do will value her honesty and integrity. Her communication is not just about what she says, but how she listens. She engages with others not to respond, but to understand. This quality of deep listening allows her to discern what truly matters in a conversation, enabling her to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It is through this balance of speaking clearly and listening intently that she creates connections that are genuine and profound. Pause and consider. How can you incorporate the principles of direct communication in your own life? Start by being honest with yourself, then extend that honesty to your interactions with others. This practice is a cornerstone of Stoicism, guiding us to live in alignment with truth, thereby freeing ourselves from the burdens of deception and misunderstanding. As we continue, let us explore how the virtue of direct communication leads naturally to a life that values meaningful discourse over idle talk. The next virtue, an aversion to gossip, complements the quality of clear communication by focusing on the substance of what is spoken. 6. Aversion to gossip, choosing words that build, not destroy. Gossip is a temptation that few can resist, yet it is one that the rarest woman actively avoids. She understands that words have the power to either uplift or tear down, and she chooses to use her voice to build rather than to destroy. Her aversion to gossip is not just a matter of personal preference, but a reflection of her integrity and commitment to a life of virtue. Ask yourself, how often do you find yourself engaging in conversations that diminish others? What does such talk achieve other than momentary satisfaction at someone else's expense? The Stoics taught that idle chatter and gossip are distractions from what truly matters. They divert our attention away from our own growth and entangle us in the affairs of others. The rarest woman recognizes that engaging in gossip weakens her character. It pulls her focus away from what is within her control, her own thoughts and actions, and onto things that do not concern her. By refusing to participate in such conversations, she not only strengthens herself, but also fosters a community where words are used to inspire and support, rather than criticize and condemn. Consider this. What impact do your words have on the environment around you? Could it be that by refraining from gossip, you would contribute to a more positive and respectful atmosphere? The rarest woman uses her voice to share ideas, express gratitude, and discuss matters of substance. She sees gossip as a waste of time and energy that could be better spent on more meaningful pursuits. Her avoidance of gossip is not about silence, but about discernment. She chooses her words carefully, aware that what she says reflects not only on her character, but also on the values she upholds. This practice aligns with the Stoic principle of speaking only when it is necessary, and when one's words add value to the conversation. Reflect on your daily conversations. How can you be more mindful of the topics you choose to discuss? What would happen if you made a conscious effort to speak only of things that bring value to others or help you grow as a person? The Stoics encourage us to elevate our thoughts and discussions, focusing on what contributes to a virtuous life, rather than on the shortcomings of others. With an aversion to gossip comes a commitment to non-judgmental thinking. As we transition to the next virtue, we will see how the rarest woman's choice to avoid gossip naturally extends to a broader practice of listening without rushing to judge. 7. Non-judgmental approach, the power of understanding without condemning. The rarest woman approaches life with a non-judgmental mindset, understanding that each person is on a unique journey. She listens with the intent to understand rather than to judge, allowing her to connect with others on a deeper level. Her ability to accept people without rushing to conclusions is a quality that not only sets her apart, but also opens doors to meaningful relationships. Ask yourself, when you hear someone share a different perspective, do you immediately form an opinion, or do you take the time to understand where they are coming from? Stoicism teaches us that the only judgments we can control are our own, and even then, we must be cautious not to judge hastily. The rarest woman embodies this principle by suspending judgment long enough to see the situation from multiple angles. Her non-judgmental approach is not a passive acceptance of all behavior, but a recognition that understanding must precede judgment. She values the opportunity to learn from every person she encounters, knowing that each interaction holds the potential to teach her something about the world or herself. By practicing empathy, she gains insight into the struggles and triumphs of others without compromising her own values. Reflect on this. How would your relationships change if you listened more and judged less? Imagine the freedom that comes from accepting others as they are, while still holding true to your own standards. The rarest woman understands that by listening without judgment, she not only supports those around her but also cultivates a sense of inner peace. Her mind is not burdened by the constant evaluation of others, leaving her free to focus on her own growth. In practicing non-judgment, she exercises the Stoic virtue of wisdom, which involves seeing things clearly and understanding them as they are. This clarity allows her to navigate her relationships with grace and compassion, responding to others based on understanding rather than preconceived notions. Consider your daily interactions. How can you approach others with more openness, allowing them the space to share their thoughts and experiences without feeling the weight of your judgment? This mindset aligns with Stoicism's emphasis on equanimity, enabling you to find balance in how you perceive the world. As we move forward, remember that a non-judgmental approach lays the groundwork for a style of leadership that is based not on imposing one's will, but on inspiring others through example. Let us now explore the final virtue, natural leadership. 8. Natural leadership, leading by example, not command. The rarest woman does not seek to lead for the sake of power or status. Her leadership arises naturally from living a life of integrity and purpose. Her influence is felt, not demanded, as she inspires those around her to aspire to higher standards through her own example. This is the essence of Stoic leadership, guiding others by embodying the virtues one wishes to see in the world. Ask yourself, when you think of leadership, do you envision someone who commands and controls, or someone who inspires and elevates? The Stoics believed that true leadership is not about dominance, but about setting an example that others willingly follow. The rarest woman leads not by enforcing her authority, but by demonstrating the values she lives by, allowing others to choose to follow her path. Her natural leadership is a product of her self-confidence, direct communication, and non-judgmental approach. These qualities create a foundation of trust and respect upon which her influence is built. People are drawn to her not because she demands their loyalty, but because they see in her a reflection of the qualities they wish to cultivate within themselves. Consider this. How can you lead by example in your own life? What values do you embody, and how do they influence those around you? The Rarest woman recognizes that the most enduring form of leadership is one that encourages others to grow and excel on their own terms. She understands that by lifting others up, she also elevates herself, creating a cycle of mutual growth and improvement. Her leadership style is not rigid or authoritarian. It is adaptable, responsive to the needs of the moment, while remaining grounded in her principles. She does not seek to impose her will on others, but encourages them to find their own paths, guided by the same values that she lives by. This approach aligns with Stoicism's emphasis on focusing on what is within one's control, namely, one's own actions and character, rather than attempting to control the behavior of others. Reflect on your approach to leadership. Do you seek to control, or do you guide by setting an example? What would happen if you focused more on embodying the values you wish to see in others, rather than trying to enforce them? By practicing natural leadership, you create an environment where others feel empowered to follow their own paths toward growth and excellence. As we come to the conclusion of this exploration of the 8 virtues, remember that each of these qualities is interconnected, forming a complete picture of what it means to live a life guided by Stoicism. Together, they offer a path to a more meaningful, resilient, and peaceful existence. The journey to embody these 8 virtues is not a linear path, but a lifelong commitment to growth and self-improvement. The Rarest woman demonstrates that through adaptability, strength in adversity, self-confidence, direct communication, an aversion to gossip, a non-judgmental approach, an enigmatic nature, and natural leadership, one can live a life that not only withstands the tests of time, but also inspires others to do the same. Now, as you reflect on these virtues, consider how you can begin to incorporate them into your own life. Start by embracing one virtue and gradually expand your practice. Remember that the path of Stoicism is not about perfection, but about progress. Each day is an opportunity to become a little more resilient, a little more virtuous, and a little more unshakable. If you found this journey inspiring, leave a comment below with the phrase, "I am embracing Stoicism." Let us know which virtue resonates with you the most and how you plan to incorporate it into your life. Don't forget to like this video, share it with others who might benefit from these teachings, and subscribe to join our community on the path of Stoicism. Your journey toward a more meaningful and resilient life begins now. Thank you for joining us, and may you find the strength to embrace these virtues with courage and grace. Remember, the path of Stoicism is not an easy one, but it is a path that leads to true fulfillment.